Welcome to Cowboy Boys, Cowboy Boy podcast, season 1, State of the Union, State of the Podcast episode. I come to you in predicament. This episode is one day late, I hope. I was going to do something special for the first solo episode. For anyone who doesn't know, if you just listen to the normal episodes, you haven't tuned into the Patreon, you should sign up for the Patreon now before it goes away. It's never going. I'm going to keep the Patreon. I'm going to keep doing this forever. For anyone who doesn't want to know, Shayne moved to Utah. For anyone who does not know, for anyone who just listens to the normal episodes, Shayne moved to Utah recently, about a month or two. Let's see, today's end of January, so sometime in the middle of December, Shayne mentioned, hey, I think I'm gonna move, right when we signed our lease, our year-long lease. But I'm like, oh, so like at the end of your lease, like what's now he's like, move it. I'm like, what? He was asking me to move with him to possibly Austin, and I was like, I don't know, I don't want to go to Austin. That scene isn't for me. I mean, I wouldn't not like to move to Austin. Austin, there's a comedy gold rush there, and I don't think it's right for me. Everyone's moving to, everyone from LA, everyone chasing that Joe Rogan and Kill Tony comedy mothership. I hear that's an amazing club. I hear they treat everyone nice. I hear it's just pandemonium there. So popular. But not the move for me. I moved to New York back in 2018, I think, and I moved from Utah. Let me go all the way back. A little history about me. Doing stand-up started in 2013 or 2014 in Salt Lake City. Went to Wise Guys. Did a little bit of middling, where I would do like 10-minute spots for opening for big comedians. Wise Guys was great, by the way. I still love Wise Guys. They're opening new locations. Shout out Keith Stubbs, Home Club. Couldn't love Wise Guys more. So, but I kind of topped out there in Utah. Like I wasn't headlining, which is really topping out. But can you imagine me doing an hour of material? Back then, I have a stand-up clip. I'll link it in the comments below of what my stand-up looked like back in I think 2017, but in 2018, I made the decision. It's like, I need to move, make the move, go to a bigger city, more people, more comedians, more like mics, more opportunities, networking, all that bullshit. And I'd been doing stand-up for 5 years at that time. And it's, you have to move at some point. You have to push yourself to be uncomfortable. And because especially me, I'm so lazy. I'm probably one of the laziest people ever. And I'm not saying lazy is a bad thing. It usually is. But it also, I try and do things, I try and make what I got going on work. I don't want to hire people to do the podcast. I don't want to do, because I just find the program that does it for me. I don't want to learn how to do all this audio editing. I just found the right stuff, and made this little cheap mic and Zoom recorder and using the programs and this cheap camcorder, and we're putting it out. So I'm pretty lazy, but I recognize that I need to move. I need to move and make myself uncomfortable. And at the time, I saw like 5 or 6 comics in Utah move from Utah, and within 6 months move back. Either they moved to LA or they moved to New York or wherever, and then they ran out of money. They didn't do it enough. So when I moved from Utah, I moved for 2 reasons, if I'm being completely honest. I got my girlfriend a job in New York, and so then I followed her like a month later. And then I also was like, I also need to move to push myself comedically to like a bigger, you don't want to be the biggest fish in a small pond is the idea. And I got my girlfriend at the time a job in New York. One, she needed a job. She was also wanting to move. I knew somebody in New York who could hook her up. And so that was part of like, I need to make myself uncomfortable to make myself, I had to make a choice to follow her to then push myself to move out of Utah. So I got here. I tried to make it work. We tried to make it work for like a year and a half, 2 years, and she couldn't hang. She couldn't hang in New York, which is fair. Like it's a rough city. A lot of people hate it here. They hate riding on the subway. It's skeevy. They hate being harassed by homeless people. It just going to a show in Manhattan, and it's like, all right, I got to take the train for 30, 40 minutes. I got to going to an open mic. I got to either ride a bike or walk. That's 20, 30 minutes, like everything. You have to like plan ahead. You have to make a plan. So it's not for everyone, not the city. But when I moved from Utah, I made a decision that I will never move back. It's like one of the only core decisions where I'm like, I promise myself I will not move back and then do comedy in Utah and be like, I tried and I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. So that's not what Shayne's doing. Shayne, I think he, between you and me, I don't know if it's on his website. I saw it. He's actually doing a Gramercy Theater here in New York City. But Shayne decided to move because New York it's not what he wanted. It's not what was working out for him. Everything, like we said, our home club, he gets all his work through Dry Bar. He gets more club work out there. He doesn't have to do all the schmoozing and networking, which I hate doing out here. I hate talking to comics out here. It's so funny. Like that's a reason why I push myself is you watch the podcast probably we've been doing this 4 years, 3, 4, 5, maybe, I don't know how many. Watch it like 100, 200 episodes. What episode is this? I don't know. 220-ish? But you watch the podcast when I first started, I'm like, oh, I'm bad at talking. I'm bad at thinking. I'm just like super nervous. I'm blah. But when I moved here, I tried to make the girlfriend thing work. I got a job, which some comics don't do. They just save up money, and then when they run out of money, they move back because they don't. But I made that promise to myself. The girlfriend moved away. We're still friends. I still talk to her. I still secretly love her. But I'm like, I'm staying. I'm making this work. So I worked a night shift. I worked a couple of machining jobs. I made gears for a little bit, but I worked a night shift at a gun factory up in Yonkers, machining handguns. I've probably touched tens of thousands of handguns. So I bet one of those went on to do something bad or good. Does it keep me up at night? No. It's just how it is. That's just life. You don't want to get caught up on like butterfly effect stuff. But it was a pretty good job. And because I was working night shift, I didn't have time to do stand up, and I just put it out the side. So I stopped doing stand up. I was super depressed. Shayne moved out, and we started the podcast together. And so that was the way to kind of do comedy and the podcast. Thank you, everyone. Seriously, thank you, everyone who's tuned in, who's listened, who's shown up because Shayne, and then stayed and kept listening because of me and both of us together. But because of the podcast, and I've been able to because of the Patreon, really. Seriously, go sign up for the Patreon right now if you want me to keep making episodes for $5 a month. $5. Do you know how little $5 is? The lunch you ate today was more than $5. So if you just sign up for the Patreon, you get 4 extra episodes. I'm going to be making more extra video content, probably like little vlogs and stuff about New York City comedy. But thank you. Seriously, thank you for the credits at the end. Truly thank everyone who signs up for the Patreon, even if you do it 1 month. If you sign up 1 month, you can get into the Discord. I don't kick people out of the Discord. If you cancel your Patreon, you can stay in the Discord, go talk, go chat with fans. Truly unbelievable, all of you. I love you so much. But because of that, I was able to quit my job and get back into doing open mics. And because of the podcast, I've actually gotten a lot better at talking. And people are like, how do you sit down and talk for and they're just talking like me and Shayne. We just sit down and talk and make each other laugh. It's pretty funny. It's pretty easy when you're trying to make your friends laugh. So then people are like, how do you do a solo episode? I'm like, that's less funny. It's not. It stinks. I feel like I'm bombing right now. I've been bombing for 10 minutes. Why are you still listening? I barely put any jokes into this. Shit. But I'm this is a state of the podcast. This is kind of a weird episode for multiple reasons. So Shayne moved. He had to move. He had a crazy year last year. He has more opportunities in Utah. It makes sense. Everything he said made sense. And I told him, I'm not moving. I can't move back. I made a promise to myself. I don't want to move back either. And it's fun. Me and Shayne are still friends. We still send each other tons of crazy Instagram videos of Chinese live leak workers getting blown up by cement trucks, Ukrainian war footage that is awful, guerrilla attacks. We still talk. So me and Shayne, we're still cool. But he lives in Utah now. And he seems like it's his move. When you know. But the podcast, it was like, do we want to do remote? I don't like doing remote. He's like, do you want to fly out? And I'm like, I don't want to fly out. Once the idea was thrown around, like I fly out and we record 8 episodes in a weekend, and then I fly back to New York, and then I think it would be bad. I think the first one would be okay, and then the next 7 would be just a slog. Plus, there's like comedians who have like millions of dollars who fly from like LA to Austin to do and it's like they talk about hating it. It's not flying out to do a podcast, not the move. Maybe if I had millions of dollars, maybe if I had a staff. But again, I'm lazy. I like doing everything myself. I like doing it simple. So what me and Shayne decided is I'm just going to keep producing the podcast, and he's gonna actually start a new podcast. So you actually get more content, really. And Shayne's going to fly out. Like I said, he's going to be performing at Gramercy. Go to his website, buy tickets right now, ShayneSmithComedy.com. And I'll still have him on whenever he's out here in town, or if I ever go back to perform in Utah. But the reason this episode, like, is solo, is because I had Shayne's favorite comedian, Jackson Banks, on, and that he was supposed to be the first guest of the new season. But then, much like comedians do, he was 6 hours late to record. He was doing stuff. He had a good excuse. I was free all day. I was waiting, but then he had something after. So we tried to record an episode, and we were a little bit rushed. It was decent enough, but because we were rushed, I made a grave error, and his microphone didn't record. So the audio is not bad. I think we had a third mic. And so he's talking to nothing really. And then the third mic is the audio of the room. It's listenable, but I'm going to release it as a Patreon only. If you want to see Shayne's favorite comedian, Jackson Banks, shout out Jackson. Thank you for doing the episode. But so I started editing the episode. I'm like, oh, the audio is like really bad. And I don't want to I need to address everything that's going on now too. So that's just going to be a Patreon exclusive. It's going to be like an hour and a half. It's actually an episode and a half. I'm just going to combine it into one episode because the audio isn't the best. It happens. And that's what you got to do in the podcasting game. So sorry that this episode is boring and stinks. I just got to let you know. Everyone who cancels their Patreon, I will be doing wall of shame for the people who leave, the people who are only Shayne fans. How dare you? How dare you leave me? He's already successful. Why can't you help me out? He's killing it. I'm trying to catch up to him. Subscribe to the Patreon. Or don't. Subscribe to the YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to Dr. MacArthur on Twitter, Instagram. Come harass me. I can take it. I like everything that people send me. But so that's what's going on. It's gonna be I made another goal. It's not a deep heart promise, but it's a goal where I was gonna have 52 guest comedians on. I don't like doing solo episodes. I hate doing solo episodes. I don't think they're funny. Because I'm like, what makes me laugh? I don't inbred rednecks rambling too close on their smudge screen on TikTok. Their selfie. That's I don't know how to like. I could show you. I could do a bunch of TikTok clips. Would that be a fun? Should I just turn this into a React YouTube channel where I like, I'm laughing in the background while I show you a bunch of clips? It's the easiest and most popular content out there, but I refuse. I'm going to bomb on this episode for an hour straight while I explain to you my thinking. But that was my goal, 52 comics, 1 year of just straight guests, and I failed flying out the gate because of issues beyond my control. I mean, I could have, it's an accident. It's podcast. I mean, we've had so many good episodes where the audio was crisp and clear. And that's something I attribute to my autism. I hate when the audio sounds bad. I refuse to release a free product that is bad. You got to pay for the bad stuff. You got to pay to see my mistakes. I'm not, one thing I hate is, all these Instagram comics or Instagram reels, comedians will upload their Instagram reels. Their crowd work reels is what we call them. And it's so funny. Some of them are decent. You're like, oh yeah, that was cool. He's doing crowd work and he totally home run. That's funny. But then you'll see like some comics were like, they'll be doing crowd work really badly, and then they will, the guy in the audience will say like, get the biggest laugh, be like, you suck, and then the entire audience will laugh because they're like, yeah, that guy sucks. This crowd work stinks. And then they'll still upload the Instagram reel. Like, look at this big laugh, and it's so insane. And I was talking about it with Shayne, and he's like, oh, you know why? Because they are not at a level where they even understand what types of laughter are. And they just got a big laugh, so they got to debase themselves by uploading that clip and showing everybody, look at this big laugh I got. It's like, you didn't get that laugh. You were getting owned. They were laughing at you, not with you. So I would never release that for free. You want to see me humiliated? You gotta, what is that? There's Findom. There's financial domination is where you pay a cool dominatrix woman to, I guess you just give her money and she calls you like a pay pig, which is insane to me. How cool is that you can get off by just giving women money? I have the traditional thing where I'm like, I can only get off if I marry her and I raise children together and I support my family financially. I have to do so many more steps. It's so cool that some guys are just like, yeah, I just give her money and it gives me a sexual thrill. I'm so jealous of them. I have to put in years of work to achieve my dreams, my secret fetish. So, yeah, it's really embarrassing. I guess you would call me a Fin sub. You pay me and I will embarrass myself. That's how it works. So that podcast is going to be released on Thursday. Shayne will be back. Whenever he's back, Cowboy Boys will continue. I think the episodes will be better because we'll have more to talk about. We'll be catching up. We'll be talking. But yeah, I'm going to this year. I want to get all these New York comics. I want them on the pod. Some of them might be bad and I might struggle. Some of them might be flawless and effortless and hilarious. And maybe I'll make them a permanent guest. I guess that's called a co-host. Co-host, that's the term. If I can find someone who is just easy to riff with, I'll give them 5% of the Patreon. That's the goal. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm doing. I'm hitting up open mics. I was supposed to hit up an open mic yesterday, but I was waiting 6 hours for someone to show up. Yeah, just doing New York stand-up comedy, which it sucks in a not fun way, but you got to do what you got to do. Look, I could move to Austin. I could try and get on Kill Tony and embarrass myself. You only get 1 minute. Ugh. Yeah, what are the people who sign up for that? Truly, they need to humiliate themselves. And I don't fault any of them, but I look down on them. If I ever get that desperate, I'm just gonna quit and get a normal job again. And I'm looking for a normal job because I need a little bit more money. If you are hiring remotely and want to be coworkers with me, DM me, send me a link. I'm good. I'm good with computers. I know how to film. I know how to edit on Photoshop and Adobe Premiere. Look at me talking effortlessly into this podcast. I hate talking to people though. That's why you get in the stand-up. You get to talk at and not have to listen. I'm a bad listener still, which I don't know. I can't do customer service. I don't have that in me. I don't know how to. I know how to not be mean now. When I was in Salt Lake, I was just mean to people. Moving to New York, I've gained the skill of not being mean to people when I need to be. Sometimes I would meet one of Shayne's comic friends, and I would just be like, all right, don't say the funny thing. Don't say the funny thing to this other comedian because it might hurt their feelings. I've had to learn that. I learned that in Salt Lake. I learned that here in New York. And sometimes I have to. Sometimes I'm like, man, this guy really needs to he needs to hear why I think he stinks. And sometimes they take it nicely and we become friends, which is, it's so embarrassing when a comic can't take a joke. A joke that I really mean from the bottom of my heart. A scathing remark that I wish to do harm. And then when they're like, yeah, you got me. I'm like, oh, okay, you're cool. We can be friends because I was mean to you. It's really odd. But I'm not being like a hypocrite. That's what I look for in a woman too. I need a beautiful skinny woman to just cut me deeply and be like, look, you're so fat. I love you. And I'm like, you got me. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing the podcast. Gonna keep talking. Gonna get more guests. I'm excited for some of the guests I have in mind. I hope they say yes. It's gonna be like, I think everyone from Shayne's famous friends that I'm going to poach to open mic friends that I'm meeting to everyone in between. So tune in, whatever. It's free. It's a free podcast. Unless you pay, then I love you more. That's how this works. It's an exchange. So yeah, follow all of us. Podcasts you're getting more. You're getting more episodes of everything. It's not stopping. Cowboy Boys forever, unless I die or drift into obscurity. I think the Patreon, you can put like, I gotta go redo the tiers now that I'm gonna do different tiers, and I'm gonna do bottom level tiers. If the Patreon starts making less than $1,000, I'm deleting every episode. All of it. I'm going to delete all the websites, all the Instagrams. I'm going to delete a Little Time podcast, my roommate's podcast. I'm going to hack into their system. I'm going to blow it all up. So if you like those episodes too, which I help produce. So a new chapter, exciting. Yay. That's what I need. Because I'm lazy. I need to be pushed. So I am stoked. I am worried. I'm like, oh, will I be homeless in a year? Would that make the podcast more exciting? Maybe. I wonder how much. I feel like if I became homeless, more people would tune into that. I think people really like the slice of life content. There's like videos of like kids putting GoPros on their head and then working at Subway that have millions of views. It's very interesting how, I guess it's indicative of how insane the world is. Something as mundane as working a fast food job is interesting and stands out. To be like, oh yeah, why didn't someone put a camera on them and drive the bus around show all the crazy stuff that happens, because everything is interesting if you haven't experienced it before. Being like a garbage man, hanging on the back of a camera, it's so insane. There's like cops who live stream. They're on Twitch streaming from their cop car. That's so stupid. Why did I pick the hard route? Why did I have to be funny and say whatever's on my mind? I don't offer, because every other medium, every other entertainment medium is, they like to do a thing. I'm an actor, but I can also do comedic roles, or I'm a Twitch streamer, but I also try and be funny. I do all the I play. It's either you do a thing and you have to be a sexy woman, or you have to be funny. Sometimes when you do a thing and you're a sexy woman and you're funny, you've got it. So you're set for life. Unfortunately, I only have one of those things with the trifecta. I only have this. So when I'm not funny, I have zero. And that's when everyone hates me. They're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Embarrassing. You should get a Subway job and not film it. You're not, I don't know. That's how it's so funny how like everything has to also be funny. Like a YouTuber he can't just talk about a thing. It also stinks when someone's like, watch like economic or like history videos on YouTube, like here's how Zimbabwe went through war, and then they put in like bad jokes. It's like, just I'm here for the historical content. Don't put in these stupid, you Googled a GIF and they put in the first thing and it doesn't make any, why can't some things just be the thing? Why does it have to be, why can't let Hispanic weather people be fat? Why does it always have to be the most beautiful, sexy supermodel giving you the weather in South America? Because it's all competition, I guess. Damn, I need to get like a super bimbo mega thought on the podcast, like to be my co-host. She just sits there and looks sexy, and she can chime in every now and then. It'd be funny if you know any super sluts that are funny. I'd love to do a podcast with them. I'd love to hire them to be a co-host. Just some eye candy. Only if they're funny though. I don't want to be distracted staring at her beautiful tits the whole time. It would get viewership up though. I don't know. Is that the move? Do I just pivot to I have like a blank room with a big table in the middle. I sit on one end and I have 8 women who do OnlyFans, and I interview all of them, and I become like super red pilled and men's rights activist, like, what you're doing is you're bad and stupid and you're blah blah blah, and then they're all like, no, they never get anyone articulate for those episodes. They never get like they don't get like the sexiest OnlyFans girls, and they don't get like ones who can talk either. They always get like the dumbest. What is it? I think it's the Whatever podcast. I've never even watched a single episode of it. I just know from the background. It's funny when you start like consuming too much content, you can tell what is fake almost immediately. There's a lot of like plane viral videos that is shot on a fake plane, because the actors they're all acting badly, and so they have like, but there's like LEDs on under the luggage container, and it's once you see the glowing LEDs, you're like, no, that a normal airliner wouldn't have fake sticky LEDs under the luggage container. It would be, they would have the normal lights. They'd be normal. You could see out the window. So you start being able to spot fake videos super easily, and it makes me insane every time I see a fake video. I wonder why. I wonder why a fake video makes me, you're lying right now. This didn't, a baby didn't start singing and dancing and doing a haka on the plane. This person did. There wasn't a 12-person fist fight 20,000 feet in the air. You're lying. I do feel cheated. I want original, real content. Don't we all? I don't know. So that's how That's one thing. I'm trying to think if there's any other fake videos that I'm always spotting. I'm almost like become black pilled with. I've become too conspiratorial with almost every video where I default to it's fake. And then I like every video is fake until I think it's real. I think it seems crazy and a schizophrenic way to live, but almost the safe way to live now that everyone's trying to go viral and everyone's making fake AI content. Like, I'm just like, that's fake. That's a fake video. It's not real. And then I'm like, oh, I guess it was real. And that's how I protect my self-insanity, is everything is fake until proven actually real. Because it'll just be people being like, I went to Panera Bread and they spat in my foot. It's like, no, you're lying. Like, unless I see even if I see the security camera footage, I'm like, I don't believe it. I think it's all set up. I think this is a secret ad for Panera Bread to go viral just to get their name out. There was some video for some energy drink. I don't know if it was Celsius. It was, but there was like a car in a parking lot, like crashing into other cars, and it then crashed through the glass doors, and there was like a little girl running away of this like gas station, and it went super viral that day. Everyone was talking about it, but I was like, if you notice, there's the branding of this drink in every single shot, and I was losing my mind because no one was talking about it but me. So I hate going schizo mode. It really bums other people out too when I see through all the lies. But that's my curse. What are you gonna do? And the only advertising I have for you is Cowboy Boys Patreon.com. No, wait, that's cowboyboys.com. No, I don't own that one. Shit. Nobody register that. I don't think it. I think it costs like $1,000. Cowboyboys.rodeo and patreon.com/cowboyboys. $5. How much is $5? In this economy, I should raise the price with inflation. It's that you're literally reaching into my pocket and stealing. If you signed up back in the day, yeah, I could see you make an argument. But like, oh, my coffee's $4. I like having a coffee and feeling buzzed, slightly agitated for 4 hours more than I like getting, 4 extra hours plus a community plus extra videos. But now, can you even buy a cup of coffee? That's the hack example. What is $5? You could ride on the New York subway. If you rode twice, it'd be more money than our Patreon. Because I think it's $275, $295. It's climbing. You can't even buy what's a hot and spicy? What's a McDouble? What's the going rate for that? You can't even buy a sandwich from fast food. I don't even have any apps. You can't buy a full meal for how good that price is. You could, let's see. I think the going rate for a really bad massage and happy ending massage on the skeeziest street here in New York is $40. So you can't go out with one happy ending massage and help fund this podcast for 8 months. 8 months is what that's the equivalent to. 8 months of content and helping keep the podcast going. Your name is in the credits. I might start doing something with that. Would you like me to start reading the credits out loud? Start calling people out? Be like, thank you. Also, here's the other ad. Is what's our cowboyboys.store. We're still selling merch. I'm still coming up with the designs. More cowboy designs. What do you want? What kind of cowboy shirts do you want? Do you want Mac shirts? I would never put my face on a shirt. That would make me feel weird. I don't know how if I had to look at someone wearing a shirt of me, it might make me respect them less. I'm like, oh, why would you do that? It's like that I wouldn't be part of any club that would have me. Yeah, I don't like that. I like when I like when people buy stuff I've created. I guess that's what it is. When I've created like a design and a shirt, like something that's funny or like a saying, and I'm proud with that. Then when people buy that, I feel good. When you give me money for things I've done that I feel deserve money, then it makes me feel happy. Because I was just born looking like this. If it's just my face and I'm like, I'm on a shirt. Yeah, anything you're born with is embarrassing to be like, look at me. I'm proud to be a man. I'm proud to, except for Latino pride. That's the only valid one. Because Latinos, we are going to take over the world. All of us. I don't want to. It's just their genetics are superior than every other race. You already know that I'm a Latino supremacist. I'm openly. Should I get a big chest tattoo? Latino supremacy. Is there any cool like hate symbols that are just associated with Latino supremacy? See, that's what liberals are afraid of white supremacists, and they're ignoring the southern border. We're coming over. We're going to get all of you. We're going to take your white women and your black women. Oh, look at this. I just Googled it. The New Yorker, the rise of Latino white supremacy. No, that's not what. How can Latino white supremacy? Those guys are a loser. I want Latino supremacy. I don't care about white Latino supremacists. Oh, the Atlantic. Latinos can be white supremacists. No, thank you. Here we go. Nope, that's white supremacy. No, where's Latin pride? Gee, I can't even find. That's so embarrassing. Whatever. Can't even find. That's why I'm doing it. I can't even find. I need to make an impact for my culture that I'm kind of part of. I'm mostly an American. That's how I felt growing up. Half white, half brown, mostly brown. And then growing up in Utah, I'm like, oh, I guess I'm going to grow up dorky white culture. That's why I talk like this. That's why I don't talk like these. Man, I love Hispanic people. They're so cool. The machismo of their 5'2" men, hardworking. I've said this before. I don't think I'll ever date a Hispanic woman because I grew up. My mom and all of her friends as a kid. I was just like, why are you so loud? Why? Oh, I hate that. I was like, it like scared me as a child. And so I think whenever I see a beautiful Latin woman, I'm like, that is one of the most attractive women I've ever seen, and I need to get out. Like, it scares me. It's not for me. I'm gonna leave that to everyone else. More for you. It's just what you're attracted to what you're attracted to. What can you do? So, what else have I not addressed? Is there any questions? Do we have any questions about? Like I said, Shayne's going to be calling, or he's going to be flying in. There'll be more episodes with him. It's going to be more of me and other guests. I'm sorry it's a solo episode. I hate doing these more than you hate listening to them. I would delete this 40 minutes in, but I also got to put this episode out like 6 hours ago. And that's how dedicated I am. And my track record has proven itself. My goal really is, I guess the lesson I've learned from all of this is you can't rely on other comedians at all. I really want to get like 2 or 3 weeks in advance, like recording episodes. So when someone's like, sorry, I'm going to be 15 minutes late, I'm going to be like, no, you're not going to be 15 minutes late. I got shit to do. You're kicked out. You don't get to be on. That is my goal. I feel that more than 52 comics in a year. I feel more of like I would love to be an asshole to someone who's like, oh, I said 1 p.m. but it's gonna be 1:30. I'm like, how about no 30? How about you don't get to be on the episode? They're like, what the hell? No, yeah, why don't you respect my time? It's so easy to show up 5 minutes early to a place in New York. If you have a legitimate excuse, oh, the train blew up. I'm like, hey, that happens. Anything can happen in the big city, baby. But it's not even like, I don't even get like normal excuses. It's just like, oh, I'm still doing a thing here. It's like, oh, yeah. Plan your day better. Ooh, nothing rubs me raw like people who don't respect your time. Because it's like an extension of that they don't respect you, right? If I say I'm going to be somewhere and someone is late, what were you doing? I know what I'm doing when I'm running late. I'm playing Fortnite. I'm dragging my feet. I don't actually want to do the thing. And even then, I'm like, I can't let them know that, so I still have to leave 15 minutes early and show up because I can't let them know that I've spent the last 5 hours playing video games, eating crumbs all over me, just doing nothing. But I respect even people I hate. I'm like, I respect your time. Thank you for doing this thing. Sorry, I'm being a hater right now, but I'm hurt. I was cut. I've been hurt by too many other comics. I respect the comics who sometimes I'll ask my roommates, be like, hey, do you want to do an episode? And they'll be like, no. And I respect that infinitely more than someone who's like, yeah, let's do it. And then they're like, oh, sorry, I can't. Oh, let's put it off. Oh, man, this is going to be hard. Getting 52 other comics. Maybe I should set up like a punishment for myself. We'll discuss that in the Discord or the Patreon and the Discord channel. If I don't get 52 new comics starting now, not this episode, so 51 by February next year, if I haven't had 52 comics on, I will set up a dead man switch to release my embarrassing nudes on the internet. And then everyone will make fun of me, which will be bad. And I don't want that. I would hate for a bunch of women to see my small penis. Yeah, I got to come up with something. So shout off in the Discord if we can come up with it's not called a Tonkin. What is the word I'm looking for? You know what I mean. Just a challenge. So there's an idea. I also want more between you and me. I'm gonna get heat for this in the Discord. There's a lot of ladies in the Discord talking about cooking, talking about how I'm a men's rights activist. I need more of the fellas backing me up in there. I need more of I want some of the blurs. I want us to be talking about Tekken and fighting games. I want some of the Lego dweebs to be and talking. I want more train talk. I want more dudes. Nothing against you ladies, but I can't relate. I just want more of all of it. Nah, they're gonna be mad at me. That's how you generate content, though. Is you get them mad at you. Hate engagement. That's the new meta in 2024. It's been the online meta for a minute now. Is saying the intentionally wrong thing. I think that's what Israel's doing. No one's paying attention to them. So like, what if we do a genocide? Then everyone will watch us and pay attention, and we'll get advertising dollars. Because no one's held accountable for lying on the internet or doing anything wrong anymore. It's just all, oh, look, this guy's being retarded. Everyone make fun of him. And it's like, that's what I wanted. It truly is a nightmare. What are you going to do? Other than become schizophrenic like me and not buy into it, see through the lines, see through the matrix code, and be miserable looking at stuff. So, yeah, let's bump up those Discord numbers. Yell at me, talk about Legos, whatever you want to do. More video game chat, more history book chat. More real-time strategy video game discussions. Go post a video of my stand-up and make fun of me. I won't get off to that. That'll be fun. Well, what else? What else have I been hating on recently? Do I have anything in my notes? No, homeless people. I've been writing jokes. I've been doing more open mics. I missed an open mic, and there's actually someone I wanted to talk to at the one I missed to get on the podcast. But I gotta go next week. What's trending on Twitter? Oh, the Super Bowl. Oh, NBA sports. Yay! It's not rigged. Not all of it. Ooh, Taylor Swift. Yeah, all sports are rigged now. That's what I believe. All of them. It's all designed. It's not like a script, but it's like a soft. Why wouldn't they use the refs to? The Utah Jazz haven't won a playoff in ever because they're a small market and no one would watch it. It's all rigged. They always want big markets to win and have the most viewership and sell the most LA Lakers hats. Or are the Lakers even? I shouldn't talk about sports. I don't know anything about it. I just know it's rigged. All of it. And I believe it. And I'm going to tell everyone that. That's my modus operandi is, I don't know anything about this topic, but I know every conspiracy theory about the topic. I don't know how it works, but I know how it secretly works. Is that a healthy way of living? Yeah, for me. Hasn't done me wrong yet. Yeah, also, you should start mentioning who you want to see on the podcast. And not the normal names. Give me people I haven't heard about so I can go stalk them and see. Give me names in New York. Tag. I don't know, not tag, comment. I don't know what we're going to do. But I'm excited. I'm excited to become homeless. I'm excited to become destitute. Maybe I'll get another night shift job and I'll podcast on the clock. Double dip. That would be fun. Giant machines running. Blasting noise. That might be more interesting. That might be the thing. Strap a GoPro to my head and film myself making parts. Seems like a lot of people like that. Well, that's the state of the podcast. I hope it was informative. I hope you all keep tuning in for the rest of the year. We'll see. I hope you raise your Patreon amount. I hope you are just interact with me more and tell me how I suck. I can take constructive criticism more than anyone. More than anyone. I can take it. But yeah, reaching out to you. Thanks for listening. Sorry the episode's late. Not my fault, really. I'm gonna channel that anger and start sinking and burning bridges this year. All right, talk to you guys later. Oh my God, it's the credits. Yeah, shout out to truly, thank you everyone who subscribes to the Patreon. If you would like your name in the credits as you see them going down the list right here. All these beautiful people: Tyler Bauer, Logan Gardner, Nopal Rojo, like one of my dearest friends, Susie Liz, Austin Baldwin, Lunari, Andrea Arense, Kelly Monoski, Tracy Christmas. I love the $25 patrons the most currently. There's no higher patrons, so they're my favorites right now. Rachel, Daniel Polson, maybe Too Shy, Daniel Hurtado, has been a big, long-time supporter. I recognize a lot of these names, so I really am thankful. Jackson Marley Hill, Torin May, Poppy Lamb, Mitchell Schwarner, Kristen Wanser, The Lovely Lou, very lovely, L. Rafters, Mike Abruzzi. I sometimes, here's a little insider info, sometimes I put one or two fake names just to make the list even out for the credits. Allie Slowtalker, Erica Holt, Cody Rogers, Patrick Reinhardt, Sandra Brown, Madison Carlson, Michelle Butts, nice, Maria Wilson, Karen Jaroma, ACAB a cabinet maker. I thought that was ACAB, like all cops are bastards, unit maker, but a cabinet maker. If you ever need woodworking done, go to a cabinet maker. They're the best. Phil Old 09, very military name. Thank you. Alex X Lee Lou. One more X and it kind of gets sexier. Cool Arrow, Hannah McMahon, Michael Gray, Trisha Leinstein, Pew Penguin, Brendan, Kyle, Haley Cook, Tyler Hall, Nick Knoll, that's our merch guy, thank you so much. Kennedy Wagner, super fan, Kennedy, thank you very much for being a fan. Miranda Bissett, Frederick Unser, I think is one of our oldest like European fans. Shout out to Frederick for being there. Tristan Pike, Alley Cat Robinson, that's like a pimp's name. Oh, Alley Cat Robinson, Amber Vick, Jenny Lynn, Morgan Shepard, Eddie Pigeon, Jerdy 98, Care, Sammy Lane, Matt Moya, Diego Lopez, my roommate, Yves McCall. Honestly, thank you guys so much for donating more than the 5. I love you the most. You're keeping this podcast going. They're going to get better. The episodes are going to get better. I'm just in a extremely busy transitional period, and between recording the normal episode and recording this credit scene, I just booked a pretty cool guest. So tune in next week. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to go through this list that you see right now, and anyone who cancels, you're going to go up on the wall of shame. I'm going to go through the Excel sheet and just look. I'm going to call it some of these names: the Oblivion Creature, Fick Rock, Void, Nicole Kraft, Scott, Jess, Tim Smith 4487. That's a very old school, just a PlayStation online username. You're classic. Majestic Wiener, Marble Cutoffs, Abraham Harris, Orwell 84, Political, Stephanie Jackson, Colt Fowler, Brooklyn Pearson, David Hauserman, more European fans, I'm assuming, Xylent Z with an X and Z, Jacqueline Mata, Riley Humbach, Lexi Dillidoo, Walker, Kaylee, thank you so much, Francisco Sandoval, Lindy, Elliot Reynolds, Yessie, longtime fan, super fan, thank you so much, Brooke Van de Houten, Vanessa Chanloau, Jackie, Nicole, Squatch, Ashley Bonner, Connor, Whitcomb, Jamie C, Joel DeFour, Garbage Turnkey, great name, Timothy Rock, The Grothler, Lily Jablonski, Molly Shanna Zellman, Daniel Luke Anderson, full name, Brian Pravinakumar. Oh, that's your last name twice, and it's one of the longest names. I always see you. Thank you for your donations to the Patreon. Ray, Craig Gignac, see you for a while. Mike Littenhall, Trey Kiris, Carlos Valadez, Nate M, Kevin Bradford, Chelsea. Oh, I see your name. I'm not going to read it because that's the Boof. It's not my real name. It's my username. Doge96, Amy, Tiff, Justin, Matt, Nick, Scott Bush Jr., Tom N, Cupid the Cow, Catford, Zach Carcelli, Isaac Villatich, Jennifer Redmond, Logan Hall, Charlie Freeman, Faye Lee, Madison Thomas, Anna Guionet, Jane Wary, Eric Myers, Bieber. I think Bieber just had a baby. Congratulations, Bieber. See, I stalk some of you. I know who the fans are, especially if you talk to me and send stuff, especially if you're on the chatting in the Patreon or the Discord. I'm paying attention. Fuka, Michael Plant, Megan Kolopanopoulos, very Greek. Thank you for your Greek dollars. Queen of Inner Space, Paige M, Willie B, John M, Get Gutsky. Is that a Polish name? I don't know. Paulina, Amy Barnes, Stephanie with some cool symbols that are not displaying in the credits right. Oops. Kelsey Reagan, CD, Corinne, J-Band, Nurse Joy, Ben Elrod. Seen you around for a minute. Thank you so much. Matthew Lopez, Sludge Judge. Great name. Ashley Francis, Bobby, Andrew, Lister Fiend, Dryden Purett, Fire Banshee, longtime fan, 19 Drunk 19, also a longtime supporter, thank you so much. Katie, Victor Garcias, Manny Lozano, why did I put an R in there? Oh, thank you, Manny. You've been around forever. Nice guy, Teddy. He says he's a nice guy. I hope he is. Angelina XX, so Holly Ferris, Brian Rigger, Zach Tommen, Libby, and Cassie Matthews. Truly, thank you for supporting the Patreon. If you want extra episodes, go to patreon.com/Cowboy Boys. Keep this podcast going. This episode was last minute. I had to scramble. The next ones, again, 51, maybe 52 guests, all new people. Also, Shayne's going to show up every now and then. He'll be back. So thank you very much for everyone who supports the podcast. Salute to you, and I'll talk to you guys later. Big kiss. Bite.